What is up, everyone? I'm Skratch. Welcome to the channel. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. Guys, how you probably noticed, we have a brand new 7-day login champion coming to Raid Shadow Legends. Now, initially, when I made the very first video on brainstorming some ideas of what this character might be, because they teased this character back in December, we initially thought that it might be something like, I don't know, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones. Some people were saying Hercules. Some people were saying Godzilla. Some people were saying all sort of weird things. But guess what? None of those things are coming to Raid Shadow Legends. Actually, we have a crossover with Monster Hunter, guys. If you are familiar with the game, and we're gonna have 5 brand new characters coming to Teleria dressed in Monster Hunter armor, guys, which is actually pretty interesting. We're gonna go over all that. But first, we're gonna go over the new 7-day login champion, Rathalos Blade Master. Now, if you are familiar with the Monster Hunter universe, probably you're gonna know quite a few details about Rathalos, right? And yes, that is his armor, guys. Looks pretty damn awesome. He is a Bannerlord in the game, and pretty interesting. This will be our 7-day free login champion. By now, if you actually restart your game, you're gonna be able to start the very first day and start collecting the champion. Let's quickly actually go over the champion, but in game, because you know what? I am on the test server. Why to tease you with that image? Why to tease you with that image when we can go to the Bannerlords? We do have a new mythical champion, which we're gonna check after the 7-day login champion, and let's actually check the Blade Master. So he looks pretty damn badass. Very good base stats. His attack is a bit low. I would expect him to have crazy multipliers, considering that he's a Monster Hunter crossover champion, coming to Teleria, dressed like a bad boy, ready to wreck some dragons in here. It already looked like he basically removed all the armor from the dragon. With the A1, attacks an enemy, has a 50% chance of landing defense down for 2 turns. If the target is a boss, this debuff cannot be resisted. Pretty nice touch for a basic skill, right? Like, most of the times when we're farming bosses, we have one issue. We're being resisted on defense down, and that creates us problems. Well, guess what? This is on a basic skill, and it's actually very nice, Yes, it's single target, not AoE, but I'll take it. Attacks an enemy. Every second use of this skill in a round will attack all enemies instead. We'll ignore 25% of the target's defense. If the target is a boss, we'll ignore 100% of the target's defense. Pretty interesting. So I would expect him to deal a lot of damage on bosses. Then we have the ultimate. Attacks all enemies. Before attacking, places an increased crit damage and an increased speed buff on this champion for 2 turns. And this is on a 3-turn cooldown. We are getting 20% more damage from here. Then the passive inflicts 50% more damage against targets under HP burn debuffs. Receives 25% less damage from enemies under HP burn debuffs. Every 5th skill used by this champion deals 200% more damage. So that actually sounds very interesting. Now, I don't have this champion available on the test account, so I cannot actually take him in for a spin and show you what the champion can do. But I'm very curious. We're going to see it in approximately 7 days. Just judging by everything that he has in the kit, attack aura for dungeons, unfortunately not for all battles. Sounds like he should be a boss slayer, okay? He should be doing a lot of damage on bosses. But I'm very curious to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. And how I mentioned, we will have 4 more champions coming to Teleria dressed in Monster Hunter armor, And yeah, they do look pretty interesting. I will show you the mythical. I will show you one more of this, and then we're gonna talk about the other 3 on a different video because we have something else coming there. But this event will be on for I think around a couple of months. That's for how long you're gonna be able to get Rathalos for free by logging in the game. So now is the moment to create a lot of new accounts. This is honestly like a surprise sort of collaboration because I was not expecting them to collaborate with a different game. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. How many of you guys thought about Monster Hunter? I bet not many. Maybe a couple of you guys that are actually massive fans of the game, you know. But I was just not expecting them to have a collaboration with them. Let's actually go over to the mythical champion. This is not related with the event, guys. So we have Androck the Glorious. Attacks an enemy, places increased defense on all allies for 1 turn. That's a very nice basic skill too. Then Radiant Claw attacks all enemies, increases the duration of all buffs by 1 turn, heals all allies by 4% of their max HP for every buff on them that had its duration increased. So that can be very, very nice. Then you have the A3. Places an increased resistance, a strengthen, and a continuous heal buff on all allies. Then places an additional continuous heal buff on all allies with less than 50% HP on a 3-turn cooldown. This so far to me sounds like very good for Hydra, you know. Then, of course, you have the alternate form. The passive increases the champion's resistance by 10 for each buff on each ally. Each critical hit inflicted by allies fills the turn meter of all allies by 5%. So that's very, very nice, especially if this has no cooldown, how you may notice. So it's kind of like Molly Tankard on steroids in Hydra, you know, think about it like that. Imagine how much turn meter you're gonna get from all the critical hits, especially if you're gonna hit 4 heads at the same time, you know, and then multiple champions doing it. It's definitely nice. And a defense aura for all battles, 35%. Changing to the next form. And it's nice, like equipping the lion helmet that he had on the shoulder, you know. Looks pretty nice as a champion. Definitely nice design. This time around, he's a support champion rather than a defense based. And with the A1, attacks an enemy, has a chance of placing defense down on all enemies for 1 turn. Then attacks all enemies, places decreased resistance, weaken, and enfeeble debuff on all enemies. The enfeeble will make them weak hit, guys, you know. If enemies have 50% HP or less, the enfeeble debuff cannot be removed. Pretty interesting. And then we have the A3, removes all buffs from all enemies, deals pure damage to each enemy equal to 5% of the target's max HP for each buff removed. This damage cannot be critical. So this is kind of like an enemy max HP sort of skill that deals damage in that way. Also places a block buffs debuff on all enemies without buffs for 2 turns. After he removes everything from them, you know. And I feel like this is not attacking first, so it's gonna strip all the debuffs from the enemies. And I feel like he's still gonna put the block buffs as well, regardless of him dealing the pure damage to each enemy. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's going to be an interesting one. I'm not sure what to expect in terms of damage. Is it going to be something crazy in terms of this enemy max HP? You know, like a lot of multi-hits just dropping bang, bang, bang on the heads for all the buffs you're removing from them. Because you can find all sorts of different strats. The Metamorph skill and increases the champion's accuracy by 10 for each buff on each enemy. Each critical hit inflicted by allies decreases the turn meter of all enemies by 5%. And then you have the Aura. Increases ally defense in all battles by 35%, guys. So that's the new 7-day login champion, the free champion that every single one of you guys will get. And we have a new mythical champion that is not related with a Monster Hunter crossover. I just wanted to show you this champion in this video. And actually, we're gonna see all the other champions in the next video, guys. So make sure you're staying tuned for it. But that was all for this one. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.